Hey, great day to y'all. I hope that you guys were all able to wake up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And I hope that you were able to set that high vibe by telling yourself you're amazing and you're capable, that you're strong and you're smart and you're beautiful. And I'm going to shut off my notifications just so that I can do my live without interruption today. There we go. So guys, a lot's going on. Today I had an amazing call with somebody who's over in London, who I'm going to be on their audio show this week on LinkedIn. Yeah, Monica. Parzaik. I don't know how to... You see, she's Polish, so it's hard to pronounce her name. But if you go see my post about it... Actually, I wonder if I can comment. What's this here? Okay. Anyway, I'll post it after in the comments. But Thursday afternoon, I'm going to be on LinkedIn. Actually, I should check the post and the time just to make sure. But anyway, it's scheduled in my calendar, so I don't even worry about those things, you see. But anyway, I invite all of you guys who are on LinkedIn, and even if you're not on LinkedIn, go create an account just to come out for these special audio stuff, because these are, they're really useful to a lot of people. And I'm noticing that now more so than ever. So I'm going to be on The Power of You on Thursday, but this week, Wednesday, I'll be on an episode of Love It or Shove It. Yeah. And last night, I also posted an interview that my grandmother did with somebody about 100 years of life on YouTube. The Endangered Stories, I believe. I just followed the guy who did the interview, but yeah, that's quite an episode. I got quite a bit out of it. It's pretty cool. So, guys, lots of stuff that you can, tap into and grab some greatness from. Yeah. And it was funny. Somebody had asked me the other day, "Hey, Tobi, I recognize that sweater that you were wearing the other day, and which was this one?" So I'm going to let everybody know. This was my father's favorite sweater. Yeah, one of them anyway. He loved this. So when he died, yeah, I keep it. This is the jacket that I wore to write my first book in. I needed his comfort. So even though I'm guided by him all the time, the one thing that I wish I could have from my father is a hug. Well, by putting this on, I feel him wrapped around me. So that's why I wear it. Yeah. And it sounds crazy, but I like things that money can't buy. And that's what thrills my heart, are the things that you can't put a price tag on. So the feeling that I get when I put on this, my dad's sweater, is unlike another. And it's the feeling that cannot be bought. So that's what thrills me. Big time. And I hope that you guys can find those things, because it seems like in the construct of our life and so busy with everything that we schedule into our own days that, we often find ourselves craving that peace or craving something that's going to make us feel good. And oftentimes there's a price tag attached to it. But those are the things that once you acquire them, they no longer have meaning in your life, because the want is no longer there. You've satisfied the want. So once you've satisfied that want, the chase is no longer there. And in our instinctual way, it is all about the hunt. Literally. So normally, And that's why relationships die out too. Because once the hunt is over, the challenge is done. You see? So, my point to all of it is, don't be hunting for things outside of you to fill your heart that are attached to prices and things. Because once you acquire them, they're not going to mean what you expected them to mean to you, because it was a mere want that you were satisfying. You know, and I've had it. Which leads up to this. A lot of people have said to me, Tobi, what is it that you want now in your life? Like, what is your next step? What is your want? Honestly, I don't have any. I don't have any wants. I don't. I grew up always having the things that I needed, not the things that I wanted. I've never been able to have the things that I wanted. My whole life has been, I've always had what I needed. And anything extra that I had went to those who needed it. But me personally, I don't have any wants. I don't. What I would love to see is for the world to be happy and in peace and in a loving operating manner. You know? But other than that, do I want anything? No. Not at all. I don't do inspired actions to hunt or chase or to have. I don't. I do things in my life to fill a part of me that nothing external can. Nothing. So, what do I expect out of my life? I don't expect anything. I know what my life has been up until now. And it no longer exists. And when you get to a point that I have where you understand that none of it's real anyway, you really change what you're striving for in this world. It's a mere experience for learning. But this ascension process is for the reinstallation of the way it should have been from the get-go. So that's why it's happening. But do I want or expect anything out of life? No. Listen, all of my past may not exist, but I clearly know what it's been. Literally. So, I do things for very different reasons, very different than the norm. You know? Very different from the norm. And it's been a while now that I've been single, and I'm still hearing questions about, well, why didn't you leave sooner? Or why didn't you... Listen, when you make a soul contract and you commit to something, you do it. It doesn't matter how the person's dealing with you or treating you or whatever. It's not about who I was with. It has nothing to do with it. He was just the face it came attached to. That's it. But even on that note, you know how long ago that was for me? 6 months for me is like a fucking lifetime. That no longer exists. It's gone. So people stop living in a place where I don't live anymore. Like, even if it was 2 months ago, it no longer exists for me. And this is why when you govern yourself every day that you're a new person and a new creation and you know what your mission is on the planet and what you need to do for people, well, that's all I need to do. Somebody even asked me, Tobi, after the magnitude of what you just lived with this guy, are you ever going to open yourself up to love again? What do you mean? I am love. I'm love. So how could I not be receiving or giving of it? That's what I am. Tobi doesn't exist. Love exists. That was just a mere experience. That's all. Was it hard to live? Maybe in that moment, but not now. It no longer exists. Okay? Like, it doesn't matter for me what situation or circumstance or scenario it is that I had to live. It was all for my learning. And, I gotta say it heartfully. I love that man that I was just with. The life lessons were priceless. No matter what I had to live. Okay? And it's not just one-sided because, I'm like a wrecking ball when I need to be. How do you think I ended that in the first place? I just say, Can't go down like this no more. So, but do I have love for him? Of course I do. I'll always love him. Because I love people. That's just me. I love every single one of my exes. Not one more than the other. They're all the same. They were all a part of my experience. So how could I not love them? You see? It doesn't matter what face, it doesn't matter what name, it doesn't matter what anything or the circumstance or situation or scenario it was. Because I can proudly say that I enjoyed every single one of the experiences because the lessons and the learning were imperative for my growth. Doesn't matter how hard it is to live during it, who cares? The more you can handle is the more you can handle and the more you can take. So it's all a part of the process. And what did it really do for me? It showed me how powerful I really am. Because again, that pushed me to my life being on the line again. Why? Because of the negativity I was absorbing. I'm an empath. So that's good though. Because man, did I switch that around. I don't care if I'm living in the same apartment. I don't care if I'm living in the same vicinity. None of that matters. And you know what they always say is you cannot heal in the place that hurt you. Well, yes, you can. Because I'm living proof of that too. Yeah. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter what your circumstance, situation, or anything. You can be okay if you choose to be. And you can heal if you choose to heal. Because, you see, this is the thing. Okay? Our life force, it knows no limits. It knows no restrictions. So your life force that's giving you life and feeding you the capacity to even breathe today, it knows no suffering. It knows no grief. It knows no anger. It knows nothing except for thriving. It knows total function, harmony, balance, creative power. So, suffering and hurt and pain and restriction and limitation is what the individual chooses to embody. Because your life force doesn't know any of that. It's your beliefs that do. So, if your life force that's given you the capacity to do everything, and it knows no limits, it is automatically going to support whatever you believe to be real. So, if you believe you're suffering, your life force is going to support your suffering fully. If your life force doesn't know any anger, but you choose to embody anger, well, your life force is going to fuel that anger. And that is what truly creates cancer within. Okay? Your life force knows balance, harmony. It knows how to function all of your organs with ease, with the law of least effort. See? But if you believe you're sick, well, your life force is going to believe that and fuel that, and it is going to make you sick. Your life force supports anything that you believe to be real. So, if I believe about myself, and this is why I encourage all of you guys to say that you're amazing, and to say that you're capable, and to say that you are love, and to say that you are okay, because your life force is going to support that. This is why I tell people to speak wellness into their life, because the more you say it, the more you're going to believe it about yourself. And the moment that you believe it about yourself to be real for you, your life force will support it. Okay? But until you do the cleanup job in your mind, your life force is actually supporting all the trauma you have stored in your body, all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the everything that you believe to be real from your past that no longer exists. This is why cleaning up what's in your mind and in your being is very important. Because your life force is fueling that full force with the same capacity to run everything in your body. This is why anything you think, you create. Facts. Thoughts are things. They're not just thoughts. They send out unique vibrations in itself. And this is why people can feel things off of people like me. If somebody's mouth is telling me something, but their head's telling a different story, well, I feel them both. And then on top of it, I feel the energy of their being too. So if somebody's energy of their being is beside you, let's just say, and they're not saying anything, well, you feel the energy of their being. But the minute a thought comes up, that sends out a unique vibration into their energy field. That's what I feel. Different thoughts, according to different frequencies, produce different frequencies. And this is how you pick up on what people are thinking. It is not, you are not reading their mind. You are feeling the frequency of the vibrations of their thoughts. Do I like feeling all of that? No, I don't. Because honestly, it took me years to stop wanting to choke people out because of it. Literally. That was one of the hardest things for me to do. Was to learn how to be quiet while people are talking shit and their energy is telling me a different story. Yeah. And that's why, I could be having a conversation, and a lot of people call me out on that. They say, Toby, we're talking and it's like you just drift away into the conversation ends because you drift. It's because my soul can no longer accept what you're telling me. It's too garbage. Literally, that I just drift right out of a conversation. I know that to be true. But that's better for me to do than to address the bullshit that's being said to me. So a lot of people have had to do that. But yes, I can be in a conversation and the person's still talking and I'm no longer there. And that person knows it. And they think, oh, Toby's just... No, it's because my soul, if I don't check out of that conversation, well, it's going to escalate to me wanting to choke that person. Because of the... Energy doesn't lie. Yeah. And that's real. So this is why I drift out of conversations. And I've been asked why I do it. Well, I'm letting everybody know. I drift out of conversations because should I remain in that conversation, what's going to be triggered in me won't be good for anybody. But I know that about myself. So that's why I drift out of conversation. And a lot of people also have asked me lately, Tobi, why do you stay isolated? Why are you not out? Why are you not visiting? Why are you out? You know, and I've had a lot of people saying, oh yeah, I'm going to come check you. And I've said, no thanks. Not now, not now, not now. Why? Because there's a real shift going on the planet. There really is. And me personally, I'm not in isolation for no reason. There's a reason why I'm not supposed to be driving around in a car that's unsafe. And it's not for no reason why I'm sitting in a situation that I am right now. It's all for the bigger picture. And I accept it. And people think, you know, okay, it's something it's nothing personal to anybody. It is in the grand scheme of things, of the big picture, which I hate to say, but people, while they're taking things personally, they are not thinking about the big picture. I think about the big picture all the time. And this is why I don't see things the way people do. It's like a constant game of chess without having to play the game. I already see the outcome 10 steps later and I just, okay, no, I can't. So it's nothing personal. But I have to listen to what I'm told. And I never did that all my life. So now it's about time that I do. Because anytime anybody's said anything to me, I've proved them wrong. On purpose. And I love to prove people wrong. I do. Because they shouldn't be doubting me in the first place. So, it's not that I have this thriving competition force. No, I want to see everybody win. But when somebody doubts me, oh, that's fuel to my fire. I love it when people doubt me and question my capacities and don't believe for themselves what I know to be true. I gotta laugh. I think it's hilarious. Literally. And I gotta laugh it off. But when somebody doubts me, that is real fuel for my fire. And I'm used to it by now. You know, a lot of people ask me for advice and for guidance and for this and that. But do they believe it? Half the time, no. After I tell them, they doubt it. And then it's only weeks and months later they come back to me, or when I see them again and they say, you know something, you changed my life. And I say, I know. I didn't have any doubt when I told you what I told you or what I did for you. I don't come with doubt. I come with knowing. It's others that doubt me. I don't doubt myself. I don't doubt anything. Because what I know is possible. And this isn't a thinking. This is a knowing. I know what's humanly possible. Which I do not doubt. If I doubted this power within us all, I would not be alive. Simple. You know how many times I've faced death and had to look it in the eye? And say, okay, well, can I get a little bit more time? Just a little bit more time. And I promise I'll be a better person. I promise I'll own the mission. Just let me have a little bit more time. Nobody else has to believe that. But how could I not know that to be true if I'm sitting here even doing a live today? I I gotta laugh it off. I don't come with doubt. But every time somebody asks me about something and I tell them, they doubt it. And it's only after they live it for themselves and experience exactly what I've told them that they can make the correlation and then come back to me and go, oh, fuck, yes. Yeah. So, hey, can't doubt yourself in this world. You got to know who you are, know your capacity, and know your power. And your life force will support what you believe. So, guys, you got to really check what your belief systems are, especially if your life force is fueling that, just like it's operating your organs. See? People don't realize it. And anything you think, even if you don't say it, you're creating something with your life force because you've transmuted it from an idea, which pops out. It's like ideas and thoughts come out of like a jack-in-the-box. But what are they results of? Where do they come from? They come from your belief system that's implanted in you and the programming attached to that. Simple. And just like the jack in the box, any idea that pops up, okay, you can shove that shit back in there and not let it go to a thought and not let it go to something you say or do. And how many people on the planet are even realizing that? Especially when I'm telling them that that's very possible to do, and they're telling me it's not. Well, if I can do it, then anybody can do it. If it's possible for me, well, it's possible for anybody. But it's whether they invest in that for themselves or not. Or do they want to have their mind like a jack-in-the-box just jumping around doing its own thing? And every time something pops up, your life force is supporting that. Saying, okay, because anything that comes up in the mind, well, your life force's job is to make it real. So if you have an idea for something, well, your life force is fueling that for you to have and to make it real within your reality. So even the mere thought, oh, I don't have enough of whatever, well, your life force is going to fuel that for you and make sure that you don't. Because that's what you believe. You see, it doesn't matter what it is that your ideas are comprised of, or your thoughts, or what you say, your life force is fueling it and is going to support and back whatever it is you choose. So this is why people actually destroy themselves. Because with their ideas and their thoughts and their speech, with their life force behind it, is destroying their own being. Because they have nothing nice to say about themselves or anybody else. They sit in a self-shame pity party. They believe they're sick. They believe they have cancer. They believe they have this. They believe they're that. So you believe any of this shit and your life force is going to support it and make it very real for you. Very real. People don't even realize it. This is where the shift of consciousness and the mindset has to happen. It has to. And this is why I cringe when I hear people talk. This is another reason why I stay isolated. Because I'm not supposed to be sitting there telling everybody off all day. I don't want to do that to myself. And it seems like it's better I just stay away from it all than having to speak like that and feel the repercussions of my own being. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to feel that people are talking shit to me. You know how hard it is for me that sees and feels the truth to have a conversation with somebody that can't even be honest with themselves? I get disgusted, totally disgusted with people that believe they can lie to me and I don't see it. They believe that they can pull the wool over my eyes and they can't. And they insist on doing that. I get disgusted with people like that. Well, I encounter more of that than not. So, what do? I see it for what it is, and I try to not have to feel like that. So, I don't like to go around people as a whole. Why? Because I feel their shame, I feel their blame, I feel their guilt, their denial, their judgment. You know, I'll even say it too. How do you think I knew about the guy I was just with hooking up with other women while I was at work? Well, because he told me in less ways than he realized. But he's the one that ratted himself out. And that's what people do. How do you think I knew when he was lying? Because I felt it. How do you think I knew about all of the cheating and the interactions with women and the... Well, because I was guided and channeled to go exactly where to find all of the evidence. Because I couldn't believe it. Okay? People are people. Well, somebody like me sees people for who they are. What does that exactly mean? Well, when somebody's, no matter what mask they're wearing, because everybody wants the world to see them a certain way. And then when they go around their family, they wear a different mask. I want my family to see me like this. And then they go around their friends. And that's another mask. Oh, well, I want my friends to be seeing me like this. And then they go to work. And they throw on another mask. Well, it doesn't matter what mask a person's wearing. I see right through it. So, I see the trauma, the hurt, the blame, the guilt, the shame, the non-acceptance, the judgment, the denial, the fucking pity party, the everything of the energy of that person. A mask cannot mask your energy. Well, your energy says more than your mouth ever will. So, that's how I know. Simple. Do I like to know all of this? No, I don't. Do I wish I was different? No, I don't. You may think, well, if you don't like how you feel, but you don't want to change, how does that fit? Well, it does, because after being spiritually awakened and understanding this whole process and what's really going on the planet and who I really am and why I have had to live everything I've had to live, hey, I love me and I love the experience, and I know this is my last lifetime, so I will love myself till my last breath. I don't have to come back and do this shit again. So, simple. But nobody knows if they'll wake up tomorrow. That's why I say live your every day like it is your last. What does that mean? That means talk to all of those that you really love, because it may be your last chance to do so, so you don't take any day for granted. Those who really mean something to you, you better let them know that they mean something to you. Okay? You got to live your days like it's your last. If you had one thing left on the planet that you'd want to do, what would you do? Well, do it. At any cost. And a lot of people, they have these big hopes and dreams on a bucket list. But when you've lived the life that I've had, just to breathe another day is sufficient. Simple. I couldn't ask for more on this planet. Never mind the capacity to be able to pump out the books that I have for change and to leave a stamp in this world. And now, hold on, turning on to heaven, your best you, wise up to rise up, think you got a bad walk in my shoes, wise and rising, the 2 kids books, the Alpha E Mind Mastery, and now yesterday. So now I have 10 books in the world. I've left my mark. I couldn't give a shit if I didn't breathe another day. Literally. And a lot of people say, oh, Toby, don't you want to have a dream life? And don't you want to have it? Listen, I've never had a fucking dream life. I stopped dreaming when I was a small child about anything that I would have in life. Literally. What do I dream for myself now? Yeah, there's a couple of things that I would love to have. But am I going to pull a tantrum if I don't have them? No, because I have a bigger mission on the planet. Doesn't matter about things that can be acquired that cannot be taken with you. And what? To have it to leave to your kids that don't even want that shit anyway. Literally. You know how good it feels when my kids have told me, Mom? Because I told them, hey, you know, I want to have some type of life insurance at least for you guys if, you know, and both of them had told me, we don't want nothing from you when you go. We are who we are because of you. You don't need to leave us shit. Like, so, you know, simple as that. Like, I don't know. People have so much expectations and wants and feel unsuccessful if they don't acquire. What are you acquiring all this shit for anyway? To leave it to somebody else to clean up or what? Oh, I want to leave money for my kids. Okay, for a world that won't even have money existent soon. You got to reevaluate your thinking and your beliefs and why you do what you do. And because your life force is going to support all that. No matter what it is. Well, that's why I stay to myself. And that's why I don't hang out. And that's why when I go and visit people, it's for genuine time. It's not just to do something or have something to do. No, it's not. My time is not to be just thrown around like there's nothing better to do. You don't think I'm not used to being treated as an option to somebody? Come on, I've been treated like that even from my own family all my life. Actually, worse, because I wasn't even an option to them. So, but that's okay. So what do I expect out of my future? Nothing. I'm just existing. Because I have to. Simple. And yeah, I can have anything that I want. Because we're massive creators. But what do I want? I want everybody to feel loved and accepted and valued and as if they matter. That's what I want. More than anything that I could acquire for my own well-being or for myself. And that's what makes me different. The bling and the have doesn't impress me at all. And half of the time, the more they have outside of them, it's because of what they're lacking inside. Literally. So I don't need external things to fill anything in me. I'm a complete whole person as I am. And just doing what I have to do on the planet with no expectations. And I never did anything for any great wins in this lifetime anyway. Because my greatest win has been to learn and save my own life. Time and time and time again. What more could I want on the planet? Really? Nothing. Nothing. Literally. And it seems like anything from anybody else comes with a very heavy price tag anyway. So I don't want any of it. Any of it. And, you know, like I mentioned at the beginning of the live, somebody asked me, oh, okay, Tobi, after that situation, what? You're not going to open yourself up to love. And don't get it twisted. Don't think that, I haven't been with any men since I left that guy too. Because you'd be sadly mistaken. I don't know which part of Tobi Loves Men didn't the world hear. But there are many men in this world, and too many to be sitting crying about one. Yeah, we all gotta shed a little tear if we get hurt, but sweep on next. Okay? I'm looking for forever with somebody. So, of course I'm gonna have to explore my options to find my forever. And so I am doing just that. And I will find my forever at the right time, if it's meant to be. And if I'm just meant to be that, the way I was, where literally just refuse to commit to one, so that I can have as many as I want, well, hey, that works for me too. Like, literally. Because every time I have ever depended on a man or decided to get with a man and create a life, fuck, was that a waste of time. The only thing that good that came out of that shit was the learning. And on that note, let me spin it with this too, because it needs to be said. All these guys out here have such a problem with the women nowadays. Well, why do you think women have had to step up in their masculine energy? Because men aren't men anymore. That's why. Okay? So the women in society, instead of being home raising their kids and having that man that's going to be the breadwinner, well, if a man can't be a man, right? Well, then it forces the woman to step up and have to play that role too. And a lot of guys have a problem with it. Oh, women's rights, women's this, women's that, women's... Yeah, well, men, look at the history of what women have endured under your thumb. You see? And it's not all men. So I'm not out here male bashing. But that's another topic. Because I have no choice but to be tough. Because I haven't had that man that I can be safe with to be in my feminine divine power. No, but I got to hang on and use my masculine divine power. Because all the men are fuck-ups in my life. All my life. You see? So don't blame any woman who's got to be powerful within herself. Because there hasn't been a man who's been a man. Okay? And this is what happens to a lot of women nowadays. Women are forced to play daddy and mommy. Women are forced to be the breadwinners and the nurturers. And they've assumed all kinds of fucking roles except for the ones that they should. And then we get shamed and blamed for it. And guilted. Well, has a lot to do with maybe all the hormones in the milk that the men are drinking. Oh, Tobi, don't start. Yeah, I could take that onto all kinds of different notes, but let me drop it like this. Society has made you men weak on purpose to disrupt the natural balance of things. And boy, did it work. Because look at all the women now in the workforce. And everybody says, oh, that's by choice. No, it's not. It's by the choice of men not being men, rightfully. That brings that on, and I'll say it. And that's the truth of it. Okay? And we all know it. Coming from broken homes or from whatever. If you came from a broken home, well, did your father stand up and was there for you? Or did he just give your mother a check, or not at all? She had to fend for herself and all kids and all everything. That's not a woman's role. Literally. And this is going to disturb people too, because with all of this woman stuff with roles and shit, I'm sorry. A man has a role to play, and so does a woman. And then if a woman's got kids, those should be her only job, in my eyes. Literally, because with that job comes nursing and psychiatry and counseling and a teacher and a nurturer and a healer and a mother is not just a mother. There's 30 other labels. So this is the disruption of society. Disrupt the household, okay, which the norm is now divorce, more than not. So construct a society that forces instability into the home and disrupt the family stability so that we end up with broken homes, women that cannot be in their feminine powers at home, nurturing their children, doing what they love. And if they choose to do any work, it would be selling their own goods and their specialties and their gifts to the world from their hobbies and spare time. Okay? And what do you think of, like, it takes two, right? So the man, what is the man's role? To keep his family safe and to keep the bread on the table. Things have to go back to stability in the homes. Single mothers are not supposed to be raising their children alone. They're not. That's not the way nature fucking produced it, or women would be pumping them out on their own. Literally. And I know what it's like to have to be forced into a masculine power and operate from there because of men not being able to be men. So me, I'm not male bashing, but I'll tell you, hey, I sit here today single for that same fucking problem because men can't be men. I shouldn't be more of a man than a man. In any circumstance or right. But what forces me to be? Because I have yet to meet the man who can be a man. And I've lived 50 years on the planet, fuck. So don't you think after that time I would have met one man who's going to complete me by now? Well, if not, there's a real fucking problem on the planet, eh? Well, there is. Women have been forced We all have feminine and masculine energy. Well, the women nowadays and of society today have been forced into masculine energy. And men have been forced into their feminine. If you want the real talk. The roles have been reversed in this reversed society. Anyway, it will all soon be corrected. Soon enough. Anyway, guys, loaded live today, huh? Well, now you're in my brain. Actually, not even in my brain. In my heart, because that's the way I feel. So, everybody wants changes. And what people don't realize is this. These children are watching, saying, oh, this is normal. And it's not. There are so many kids from broken homes that it's the norm. It's not normal for anybody to be in an unloving situation. It's not the way it's supposed to be. Especially when your life force is love. It's a real contradiction. And since men can't get it right and women can't get it right on the planet and stand up for their rightful role on the earth, well, the energies of the universe have to force it on us. Literally. For correction. Isn't that fucked up? Well, all I can say is let's get it done, because I want my forever man who's a real man to step in. Because, yeah, I think I'm due for that kind of connection. Because, like I said, listen, for me, and a lot of people say, oh, you know, yeah, I sat here and said for years, I'd rather be alone, I can stay alone, whatever. But I'm at the point in my life where if my divine partner doesn't come greet me soon, there, what's the point? There's no point if you do not have somebody to love and share your life with. There really isn't. And people get so caught up in their thought of, oh, you know, I can do this alone. Yeah, I can do this alone too. But do I want to? No. Simple. That's why this stuff has to happen, and the shift is real, and it's happening. And trust me, after this shift on the planet, the roles will be reinstalled. I'm hoping and praying anyway, because no. Women need to be allowed to be in their feminine energy, covered and protected by their man. A man is supposed to be a man for a reason. And the woman is supposed to be a woman for a reason. Both bringing something very equally essential to table for any partnership. Why would I deny myself of that? I won't. Guys, anyway, a lot of live today, all over the place. Reminders this week. Look, I'm on the Love It or Shove It talk show on Wednesday on YouTube at Love It or Shove It 88. Thursday, I'm on LinkedIn on an episode with Monica Parzik. Talking about inner wisdom, the power of you. I just published another book yesterday for you all. And with the posts, you'll see even the table of contents. So go and enjoy it. And if, listen, I'm not about the making the money shit. I couldn't care less. Look, if you want a copy of the book and you just don't have the money, send me a message. I will email you a PDF file of the book. Because I didn't channel these books and put these books through me to make $1 million, make $1 million. I did it for change. So I'm really going to put it out there. If there's any of you that want any one of my books to read, and you cannot afford to go and buy it on your own, that's fine. You reach out to me and I will email you a copy. No problem. You won't get the physical book because honestly, the first couple of books that I printed and I wrote, I spent maybe $2,000 of my own dollars on ordering books and giving them to everybody. Nobody showed me appreciation and nobody even read them. So I don't do that anymore. And it really sucks. But it's okay. That's all learning for me too. Because this round with these books, I am not sending or ordering anybody copies from me. You want copies of the physical book, you can damn well go buy it yourself. If you don't have the funds, but you want to read the book, you reach out to me. I will email you a PDF file of no matter what book it is. Whether it's the parenting, the kids' books, the forced self-development, the new one that I did, the ebook, the Alpha E-Mind Mastery, Empowering Emotional Mastery, or the last one that I just did, Your Spiritual Guide to Source, a complete all-knowing reference. Yeah, that book is really special. But that was the big number 10. That was the 10th book I put out yesterday. Wow. Oh. And I'm not even close to stopping. So, guys, I love you all. Have a great night. Enjoy the live. Yes, I've said a lot of shit out here today, but it wasn't shit. Needed to be said, obviously. And, yeah. My divine partner out there, here's a special call out to you. I'm waiting. Don't take too long. Because the options are real and ready. I love you all. Have a great night. Peace.